I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
Everything I do so instinctive and so passionate. Every word I move so descriptive like an adjective. I got a vendetta against people who patented being negative when you should be getting after it. I got facts over tracks, this and that. Spitting slow, spitting fast. I could roast, I could gas. Think I'm okay at last, but I don't know if that can erase all the past. And the pettiness, a reflection of the emptiness. Hilarious, you think you're worth my time, you're delirious. Mysterious, because you hide behind a fake exterior. Inferior, you know I'll always be a bit superior. Get off of me, this ain't no humble brag. I want you to hear words, you can say them back. I want you to feel free from the chains that last, and to believe in what you got, it was built to last.
Hello, everybody. How you doing? I am your host, the real Lovely C, and today is supposed to be a special day. I'm just hoping that the ladies can connect and can get in. We're talking about the ladies' lounge. I am waiting for them to enter our show and cross my fingers that this show goes well. We'll be talking about relationships, health, finance, things to go on with your household and so much more. I really want this live to go well. I have a feeling that one of my people is going to have a hard time logging in, and I don't want to have to do this live over. Well, I got Ebony in, so Ebony's in. Hey,
Hi.
hey, Ebony. So we're still waiting on Wanda. She haven't come in as yet. So we're waiting on her. But how are you doing today?
I'm good.
You good?
It's barbecue time. Is that what that say?
Oh my God, I got the wrong one. Ain't that something? Let me change that right quick. Oh my goodness. That's from the
It is
last show,
barbecue
honey.
weekend.
It
I
ain't
mean,
Bobby
it's been a
Purdue.
weekend.
Hold on. I'm glad you noticed that. Let me do this right quick.
Sorry about that.
Okay. Thank you for noticing that. Okay, the ladies' lounge. So I don't know. Wanda has never done it, and I do have two. I'm going live with along with Twitch also. So what I want to talk about, she's not here yet. So you and I can get started. What does a mate, okay, a mate looking at another person, when does it crosses the line when when it's the opposite sex? How do you feel about that?
So everybody got eyes, right? I mean, everybody's human. So you gonna look, right? But
Mm-hmm.
don't keep staring. Like don't stare hard and continue or do couple extra like dang looks, right? Don't disrespect me. So that right there will be a form of disrespect. Constantly looking or looking back, or even continuing to say stuff that's like disrespectful with that person. Like if you just gonna go, sorry, I just keep
I
making
mean,
faces.
we all have eyes. We all have eyes. I think Wanda's having a hard time logging in because she was by her computer, and I told her to look for the melon sign. So she's never done it before. So
Is she T Money 1222? Because it says I'm trying to get in, and it says joining. If that's her,
um, Yeah, that's her. She said she's trying to get in. It says join and tell her to join. Can you
I mean, I'm sure she can hear you.
okay, yes. Let me put yes in.
She put yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I can hear her.
Okay, well all you
Do you
gotta
have
do is hit join. Hit join. I can see where she can hear me. Okay, hit all you gotta do is hit join. As soon as you enter the room, then I can bring you in. So she's in the backstage. It says joining, but she can hear me, but she's not backstage yet. So while we wait on her if she can get in or not, we're going to try and see if she can get in. She's trying to, the thing is telling her to join. Oh man. So anyway, yeah, so when looking at another person, I think it's nothing wrong with a person looking at the opposite sex, because that person going to have eyes. But when I think you overdo it, I think it's too much. It's too
yeah.
much. Or if you're doing it, if we're somewhere together, okay, I'd have seen you go ahead on and peeped it out. But now that I'm away from you and you going and you go right ahead and use double stern, and
Right.
now if I'm not around you and you start a conversation, that's conflict.
Oh, that's disrespect.
That is true disrespect. But you do have somebody that do that. You know, you can walk off and start a conversation, or like if you're at a party or cookout or something, you can be mingling and somebody new come to the cookout and your other half or all right mighty glance and then do another one of these. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? That's
Okay.
when I be ready to go like this.
Mhm. Agreed. Agreed.
That's when you get one of
Agreed.
them, right? Ain't that it ain't being violent, but if we do it, then oh man, they got everything in the world to say. They got everything in the world to say.
They just need to wear them sweatpants.
Okay, she said it's loading. It might be your internet. If it's loading, it might be your internet connection, because Ebony doesn't have didn't have a hard time getting in. Do it say that when you try to join it's loading?
Well, I hit join and then you bring me in.
Yeah. So once you hit join,
So
I can bring you in.
it's the green button, but I don't know how it looks on a laptop. I'm doing it off of my phone.
Okay. So maybe she need to go to her phone and do it to pull it up on her phone, cause I think she can hear me. If she's in the stream, she probably can hear me, but I don't see her. I can see her as soon as she pop up. So I wonder what makes a woman feel love. Ebony, what makes you feel love? You are newlywed because you still
I've been married
newlywed.
a long time now.
But you still, y'all are still newlyweds. This is what second or third, your third anniversary.
4, Ma.
Okay, so when you get to 5, then you ain't newlyweds no more.
Okay.
You still freshly new. I think here she go. Here she go. Hold on. Hold that question. There she go. There she go. We got her in here. Hey girl. We got you in here. We got you. Hey Maddie. Maddie said, Priscilla said hello.
What's going on here? Let me try and turn my volume up.
Okay, I can turn you up on my end. Hold on.
I can hear all y'all fine.
Okay, I got you turned up on my end. I can control it from my end. So, how you doing, Wanda?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm just trying to get adjusted here. I feel like I kind of. All right, there we go. I'm good. I'm good. I'm just trying to get adjusted here. I feel like I kind of.
We gotta get rid of that.
I'm good. I'm good. I'm just trying to get adjusted here. I feel like I. All right, hold tight.
You whatever you was doing at first was perfect.
All right.
Okay, so Priscilla said, "Hello, ladies. Hey, Priscilla, how you doing? Wanda, now you hit share and we see your avatar. We don't see your face no more. We just see the W. Wanda, she hit the mute button. Okay, all right, you good now? Wanda, she hit the mute button. Okay, I hear echo. All right, you good now? Wanda? You got an extra browser open. When you first came in, you was perfect. And scoot your chair over the other way. Okay.
All right, here we go.
There we go. We got you, girl. Woo! It's the
look,
first time. It's the first time. So now next time you know how to do it. So Wanda, what we was talking about, when your mate look at other people, when does it crosses the line with the opposite sex? Fill me in on that one. How do you feel about that?
Okay, so let me just say hello, everybody. I am not really that technology challenged, but needless to say, I'm here and thank you for the invitation. I appreciate it. Abby, you look so beautiful. Mwah.
Thank you.
I did hear a little bit of that conversation because I was hearing it, but I just couldn't get in and jump in. But so let me just say this. Let me just preface this. I literally just had that issue happen to me, and I was with my husband and we were out and we were in this little hole in the wall having a good time. I was just jamming, babbing the whole nine. And this nice shaped woman, about a size 14, had it going on, brick house. And she sat beside us. He checked for her once, came back. She got up, went to the bathroom. He double checked again and checked again. And immediately.
That's when you do like you do one of these.
My disposition changed. I could not have my attitude or anything, and it just messed the whole mood up. And I'm like you, Ebony, you know, you check too much. It's disrespectful. And let me just say this. I've been around a minute and I've been married for a while, and you know, I'm seasoned, but men gonna look. You're going to do what you do. I understand that, but don't disrespect me. It's a time.
In front of me either.
Yeah. And so we had to have that conversation. And he you know, men don't own nothing, right? Because they always say, well, you ain't see me do it, and I ain't do it, and all this happens. No, don't insult my intelligence. So we had it out that evening. And I had to bring him to the table and call him on the carpet. So we can have some get right about that. But I'm with you. Don't be disrespectful about it, you know? It's a line, and we have to set that line and let folks know what we're gonna tolerate and what we're not gonna tolerate. And I was taken aback. I really was. So yeah,
I've had that issue. I went into the store one time, and it was my other half, and it was this other guy at the bus stop. They were sitting there, and I live up there by, you know, by Howard, and you got all them pretty college young ladies walking around with their booty shorts on.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And their breasts is hanging all out and stuff. And I went in the store to go get a piece of paper to sit down on, but I didn't make it in the store because it was you know where they sell newspapers outside?
Yeah.
You know, in the little can. So I just said he thought I was in the store, but I before I made it to the store, I saw the little can and grabbed the little express paper, and I come back. He said, "Hey, Don." I said, "Hey, who? Where we do that at?" Because see, the man already been hollering, "Hey, how you doing? Hey, how you doing?" The difference is I got a ring.
Yeah.
I got a ring. That's the difference. Oh, I was saying, "Hey, dog, you don't even try." How you saying it to me and I just walked up?
You know what I've understood about understood about men. I think I understood this about watching my dad, and I love my dad wholeheartedly, but I just knew how he was as a man, and he talked to me about men. And one thing he said is that, you know, he loved my mother, And
Mhm.
men, you know, he even though he loved her, that doesn't mean that he didn't lust after other women and didn't have a full appetite for other women. And that wasn't taking anything away from my mother, but that's just how he was as a man. And not saying that all men are built like my dad, you know, because it
Yeah.
are some men built differently and, you know, have one, you know, one eye for one thing or whatever. But you know, men have a hard time for, you know, lustful heart. And so it's nothing for them to say, oh, hey, babe, go on in the store and give you a peck on the cheek. And then at the same time, see somebody else coming down the street and say, hey, baby, you know, that's like sort of thing. So not to
Mhm.
dismiss it or say that it's okay, but sometimes that's just the makeup of a man.
That's the truth.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's hurtful, and it's by that time your whole mood to change. Either you arguing or you ain't talking in the car. Because if I would have done that, I would have been every slut, every H, every B in the whole world. I mean, and it ain't nothing wrong with speaking, because like my other half say, it doesn't bother him when a person speaks to me or look at me. He said, because if another man don't look at me, then it make him wonder what he got. He said he know he got something good, but he brings up, you know, if another man ain't looking at you, then I know, you know, if he is looking at you, then I know I got me a dime piece. You know what I'm saying? You know,
Yeah.
cause I'm a thick girl. I'm a thick girl. I'm like 190. You know, doctor told me I need to lose some weight, but you know, but I'm thick. So you know, and it run in the family. You know how them hips get. I'm small up top, but I'm hippie around the bottom.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
I see my
They
daughter.
like it like that.
Yeah, yeah. So now, Ebony, this question really don't this question really don't let me see who said this. I think it's a man thing. Let me get to this. Okay. Priscilla said, I think it's a man thing, but don't be better not do it or but you better not do it in front of me and not do it too many times.
Yeah.
LOL. Ain't that the truth? Prissy
Mm-hmm.
right about that. She is so
Yeah.
right about that. So Wanda, I'm gonna give this one to you, and I can talk about this one. Now, y'all, like I said, this is the ladies' lounge, and you know what we say can help some others. So every month of every Saturday, during this month, I will be having a panel. So y'all, you know, y'all rotating. So each week it'll be different questions. So Wanda, my question for you, and I can answer this along with you, the empty nester.
Mm-hmm.
Because, or let me come back to the empty nester.
Okay.
Let's do, how do you handle a blended family first?
Oh, you hitting oh my goodness, cut it, child. You hitting all we can talk about blended family all night long, but
Because
Ain't
see,
that the truth?
yes, we
I
can.
think the blended family is would be easier to talk about first, and then the empty nester, because first you had to get to the blended
Yeah,
family, and then they gradually leave and
the nest. Yeah,
they leave the
yeah.
nest. So
But
how hard it was for me, I'm gonna tell you, I was stepmother and it was four, and my three plus two,
mhm.
and that little girl did not.
So listen, hold on. Let me say this. I'm gonna say this. I think blended families are challenging. I will say that it can be
You
very
got that right.
you think about it, the makeup of your household, the man and the woman, the husband and the wife, it you know, it's the world or families, the blendedness isn't really supposed to be like that. Because it brings so much chaos. When you're talking about bringing somebody else's family, somebody else's say so into your household, into your marriage, into your situation, it can become
challenging.
Very challenging. Then you talk about personalities and jealous spirits and all that type of stuff. And then you have people that just don't get right in them. And you know, they want to play kids against kids, and kids split their hairs against parents, all type of stuff when you talk about a blended family. But I think what's most important is keeping kids first and understanding that just because you and I didn't work out as a mate, we have a child together, and we got to keep what's in the best interest of this child. And we don't want the traumatic issues that we go through to come out on behalf of this child and mess up the child's life. Right. But that's first and foremost. If you can do that and keep that in perspective, I think it makes things a whole lot easier. But when you don't, and you have petty parents and petty people, it's so a seed of division. And it becomes a very toxic environment and can be difficult to maneuver. And I know I've had my challenges with it, but so much so that it played a good part in a separation that I went through. But needless to say,
and we're gonna get into that.
It's a bit much.
We're gonna get into that. What about you, Ebony?
I think, well, I have a blended family as well. So I think basically you in a sort of way you have to deal with the other people's the child's other parents to a certain extent, right? But you also, those kids got to come to your house, right? And so it's also a part of the different discipline that you have to, like, that is entailed at your house versus at their house. Well, my mama said this and all this stuff. So you have to put the differences aside and see, like Wanda said, with dealing with the kids and stuff, because ultimately it is about the kids, but you're not going to let the kids come to your house and be disrespectful either. So it's all about just getting everybody trying to be on the same page and just loving the babies ultimately, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and one thing
I'm gonna say this too, just to kind of jump in, just because I don't want to move ahead, but you know, we've transitioned to that empty nester place or whatever. But I think women, we play a big part in the success of our household in terms of blended family and setting the tone, especially in setting the tone and what we expect from our kids. What we expect for them to do, what we expect for them not to do, and how comfortable we make our mate in terms of the support, in terms of what the expectations are, what just how we run our household. And not only that though, how we give respect to our mate in order for him to be able to be successful in the household too. I think it has a lot to do with how successful that whole blended family piece is. And if anybody need to be checked, then, you know, we can do this cohesively and, you know, in good spirit. And when the head said this is what it's going to be, if it's all well and good, then that's what it is. Everybody goes with it. So that's a, ooh, that's
y'all carry on. Let me. This air conditioner is too high. Y'all continue talking.
But Abby, you know good and well what it is. Somebody saying, I think it's a man thing, but don't. But
no, that was from the last question.
Okay. What you said, Ebony?
I was saying definitely. I mean, they definitely. I mean, with your mate, it's still it comes a form of, like, again, the respect, because with the respect as well, they're gonna have that respect for you, and they're gonna expect you to treat their kids a certain way and love their kids as well. So I mean, ultimately, if you with someone and you know that they have kids, you gotta love them. They come with a package. So that's what it comes down to.
let me tell you something. I've seen like on social media and all different type of places. I don't care, man, woman, or child. If you didn't, I came with one. If you didn't come and treat my child right, it's all best
Then
off. And that
exactly,
comes for any man that brings his child into a relationship. If that woman
exactly,
isn't treating your child like it's theirs or
exactly.
like they should be treated with a good heart and good nature, it's no further discussion about it. We ain't got to talk about it. We don't need to think about it. You get you and yours and get up out of there because the relationship ain't worth it. If you can't respect a
Agreed.
baby or a child or be willing enough to do what's necessary to reach that child,
Right.
you can't love me the way I need to be loved because that's mine. You
That's
know what
right.
Exactly.
I'm saying?
That's
So
that's that's
I
right.
yeah, that's paramount.
You
Yeah.
know, let me jot in there. Like I had my experience, you know, and at first it was just my two, and my ex-husband's his two, and then we had one together. So, but prior to that, the youngest of his always kept so much dr- drama going back line on me when I'm doing all the, because he felt like because he was paying child support that he didn't have to do nothing else. But I'm picking that child up, your two children up when the holidays come. I'm the one that's buying Christmas stuff, birthdays, everything. I'm the one that's doing. And for a child to disrespect me and go to try to constantly keep their mother, at me, then there's a problem, So it took years for her to realize that I'm not the problem. He's the problem.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? Because his oldest went and said, Ma, it's not her. Dad don't do this. She always does this. She
Mm-hmm.
buy us this. She does this for us. You know, yes, I do hair. She cuts our hair. You know what I'm saying? And God knows I braid their hair. You
Mm-hmm.
know, the
Yeah.
only thing she could go back and say I braid too tight.
That's true.
I'm a witness to that.
Yes.
Well, I'd have braid all y'all heads. So,
Yeah.
what I'm saying? I'd have done all y'all heads. So, and Wanda is my
Mm-hmm.
witness to that because Wanda has witnessed me, my hurt, and go through my pain that I went through with my ex-husband. You understand what I'm saying? Ebony was too young to understand, but she could see the stuff that was going on. And then when is enough? When is enough is enough? You understand what I'm saying? Because if you don't discipline your child, and I'm supposed to discipline mine, and you can discipline mine, but when yours come over, they can do what they want to do. The room stay clean all week long, but it's their weekend, and they can just leave the room the way it is. And then my children got to be the one to clean it up. You know what I'm saying? It was stuff like that, and maybe that it'll help somebody else out there. You need to sit down with your spouse and tell them that, because daddy's got them little girls, and that little girls is never wrong.
That is true. Little girls are never wrong. And I used to tell my husband all the time, because he rules with an iron fist. And I can't tell him not to do that. He did that with his boys. So of course if he's gonna treat my son like he treated his son, then he gonna do that. But what I wanted to see, I guess, was because I don't have one. So I'm like, if you're gonna rule with an iron fist, I want to see you love the same way, as hard as you rule. And I don't think I felt like I always saw that. But again, I'm looking through it through a mother's eyes and not through a father's eyes. And that's another thing that for women, sometimes we have to move out the way. And my one thing that my dad helped me do, because we went through the separation coming back, my dad shared with me, my dad came into a blended family because he helped raise my brother. My brother was older, and him and my mom had me. But needless to say, so he raised my brother. But my mother was very protective over my brother, and so she intervened a lot when my dad needed to correct him and that sort of thing. And so talking to my dad about just how that impeded him and how my brother, life choices and that sort of thing, it helped me to understand how I had to kind of move out the way, because again, a woman can't do a man's job. So let yourself out the way and let your spouse do what they need to do with these kids sometimes, and not take it so personal,
So ladies, okay, so I got a question. What causes separations and what are your expectations?
Separation.
Okay, think about the question. What causes separations and what are your expectations?
I mean, separation is constantly doing the same dumb stuff after we done had this conversation multiple times, and you continue to do the same dumb thing. Cheating can cause separation. Expectations. I want a man that's gonna love me, love my kids. We do things together, do everything. As a family, you have your own thing going on. Like we want to build, like an empower. And I just want everything to be like right. I mean, there's gonna always be ups and downs because no relationship is perfect. Like you can have like situations where you build like what am I trying to say? You go up and down and then you just I don't know what I'm trying to say, y'all. Go ahead, Lon.
That's all right. So just kind of thinking of your question. I mean, that just goes off into so many territories, so many different things to cause separation. But I will say assumption for me. I think just speaking on myself, I assume a lot, and I assume that somebody knows what I'm thinking about, or I've had to learn how to say what I mean what I say, and speak what's on my mind, and be clear about what my thoughts are with my spouse or whatever. But and just not assume what a situation may be. Like for instance, we talked about earlier, I saw him check out somebody, right? Not that now I could have seen the same pretty woman out back and I just assumed he was out back talking to him. And I could have let that fester in my head and let that go. And it just drives a whole wedge into stuff. And so I guess the point I'm trying to make is assumptions can be killers in a relationship. And that whole assumption piece is heavy. And so I try to stick away from assuming things and running with it, because our mind can be a dangerous thing and a killer. So if I don't have concrete facts and evidence in front of my face, then I try not to take things and run with them or whatever. But so many different things can cause relationship. But I think the number one things for a lot of people oftentimes is money.
Money and infidelity.
Finance and infidelity. Yeah,
money and infidelity is to me is the main ones. And sometimes even the other, when it gets back to that blended family, sometimes you're not treating my child the way you treat yours. And I feel that you're too hard on my child, and you're not hard enough on yours, and it grows a wedge between you, and it'll cause you to leave because you're not gonna let nobody hurt your children mentally or physically.
You know, the one thing I wanted to share, you talked about, you know, whatever we say could possibly help somebody else. And,
Mm-hmm.
you know, I truly believe that because, you know, we're on this platform and millions of people around the world can see this, maybe not today, but tomorrow or, you know, next year, 2, 3 years from now, because it doesn't go, this information doesn't go anywhere once we put this out there or whatever. But the one thing that I kind of wish I had learned to do several years ago, especially like early on in my marriage, was to learn how to slow down a little bit, because I would get information and just run with it and just, you know, not process it a little bit or not, you know, talk to the right people. And so my mom passed the same year I got married, maybe a month before I got married. And I didn't have that one person that I could use to help mold me in a marriage, right? To help or to be able to even go to and share what my pains and my woes were, to be able to say LaWanda, that knows me, to say, settle down, you know, you jumping the gun, or, you know, make a better decision, or, you know, just to do things a little bit differently, because sometimes marriage is more than just, you know, love in that minute. It's also a business relationship. It's also about your finances. It's also about how you live. It's also about how you maintain. It can be bigger than just a cheat. It can be bigger than just a lie. You talking about raising a family, you know. So sometimes we move off of emotions and move too fast, and we dig ourselves in a hole that sometimes we can't get out of. So and you know, you look back 10, 15 years later, it shoulda, coulda, woulda. And so we often look back on, you know, our grandparents, or you see people that been married 40, 50 years, and you say, how they do that? Oh, they did it because they went through a whole lot, you know, to get there. So you know, we have to be taught things, you know, in relationships, and
Right.
we have to have.
But they went through stuff. They went through stuff. They went through stuff, and they might not tell you, but they separated. Even if they didn't sleep, even if they slept in separate rooms.
Right.
You know.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
You know, that's how it was when our grandparents came up. You know, you go over the house and Papa in one room and Nana in another room, because they going through their
we just can't get out of eye right now. Right. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So let me get into this comment. Maddie said, trust, cheating, liars, and just plain disrespecting each other. You know, yeah, that's true. Yeah. That's you know, that's true. So what makes a woman feel love, y'all? What makes us feel love? What makes us feel love?
Empathy, a man knowing your love language.
There you go, Ebony. There you go. Yeah.
Just like trust. I'm just saying, I mean, it could be so many things that can make you feel love, but then it's so many little things that you just want. You only want very little, and that man come along and he give you just that, and then you just love it. Like, I mean, hell, I love the fact that my husband can cook his butt off, and and that right there, oh my God, like he just knows. Yeah. He knows me. So I mean, it's just the small things that takes like that. It like, oh man, it can just take your breath away, you know. I just love it.
I mean, I agree. It don't always have to be the over the top thing. It can be the smallest thing. It's just could be the way you look at me. You know, the way you look at me, or hey baby, I love you. You know, don't
Yeah.
forget to tell him I love you, because that person can go out that door and not come back.
Or
That's
And
those have a good day and those texts in the middle of the day. Hope you having a good day. Stuff like that. Just some small stuff like
something
that.
small, just thinking about me, period. And sometimes this how one reason, when you both thinking about each other at the same time and the phone ring, I was just getting ready to call you.
mhm.
You
Yeah.
know, it's
Yeah.
things like that. That's love. That's love. What's your expectations, Wanda?
I
How do
think
you
I
feel
was
about
I was
that?
just looking at something because I wanted to share this with you guys too, but I'm gonna find it before we finish talking today, so I can share with you um Lovely C, and you can share with your audience. But I think I'm gonna just kind of piggyback on what Ebony said. Is really one, a woman understanding our love language so we can share it with our mate, and vice versa, I guess I would say. But for
Mhm.
me, what's love for me is acts of service. I like nice things, but I don't have a problem with buying myself nice things. For me, I don't like to pump gas. I don't want to take trash out. I don't want to do nothing to my car. I feel like some things are a man's role, some things are a woman's role. And I guess I'm kind of old fashioned and traditional in some ways. If it's outside the house, I don't want to do it. I don't want to mow a lawn. Some stuff I just don't want to do. But if it's inside this house, if it's washing these clothes, folding these clothes up, putting them away, keeping this house looking good, smelling good, take care of these bills and stuff, though I got that. But I want understand what I like, and my love language is acts of service for me. And that just does it for me. So it doesn't have to be, I ain't gotta take me on trips around the world, although I do like that.
Yeah. And you
Yeah.
have been around the world.
Yeah, but it's like you said, it's those little things though, that will put a spark in it for me. So yeah, just knowing your mate in that way.
Okay.
Yeah. But I did want to share this with you guys. And I still haven't found it, but I remember the what it's called. It's a book called How to Feed Your Husband. And so I'll share with the Lovely C. But so my husband ran across this. Somebody gave this to him like when we first got married, and we were going through it, and I was like, I ain't reading this stuff. I'm like, I don't need this. You need this. You need to learn how to feed me. Da 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 da.
Type it in the if you got
In
your
the chat.
phone, type it in the chat.
Okay, I certainly can do that. I'll type in it. Okay, I can do this up here. And I'm like, I don't need it. You need it. So
We just lost Ebony.
Oh, okay. So after we separated and we kind of got back together again, I was like, I found it. I was like, oh Lord, let me see what's in this thing. I probably really do need to read it. And I read it, and I also bought it's an audio book for it. And I bought the audio book. And so ever so often when I'm like driving back and forth to work, I listen to it because it helps me to reaffirm what I need to do to feed this man, to remember to give him acts of praise, and just to remember to call him and say, well, babe, what you did yesterday, that was big of you. I love that. You my king, you this, you that, or whatever. And
yeah,
just,
you got
kind
to
of build him up.
yeah, you got to feed him love.
Yes,
You got to feed him love, and that's exactly right. Ebony dropped out. I think she gonna come back in. She got kicked out. But yeah, you got to feed him. You got to feed that thirst. You got to let that man know that he's special, that you thinking of him and you appreciate him, and you appreciate those little things that he do, because those little things are stuff that you don't want to do. When you realize it is when if you separate and you got to do all that stuff by yourself. You
Right,
understand what I'm saying?
right.
When you train your child, you may think that they be rough on your child coming up, but
Mhm.
let me see, somebody left a comment. Let me the things that the both of us did when dating, you should do it when you get married. You should know you should have a date night, go out to dinner, just a little things to keep your love going through every day. And who
I
was
agree.
that?
Definitely
Oh,
date
that was Maddie. That was
night.
Priscilla. Okay, yeah, she said the things that the both of us did when we start dating, you should do it when you get married. You should have a date night, go out to dinner, just a little things to keep your love going through. And she's been married over 35 years.
Oh yeah, so she know.
So she know,
She
she
know.
know, you know. So yes, and she just had an anniversary. So
Congratulations.
yeah,
Yeah.
so yeah, I'm really happy for her. You know, that's my BFF. You remember Prissy?
Yes. I can't.
Yes.
I don't think it's let me send a message.
Well, when you get off when you get offline, you can go to the comment sections
I'll put it in there.
and just put it in the comments.
Okay, I can definitely do that. But just so your listeners will know, the name of it is The Proper Care and Feeding of a Husband, and it's Dr. Laura Schlesinger.
Okay,
But
so
I'll share it with you guys.
when you get offline after the show upload, it'll have comments. Just leave the name of the book up there. O-
Absolutely.
yeah. So
Mhm.
how do you handle yourself when your other half gets on your last nerve?
Ooh, girl, that's a loaded question right there. So what I'm gonna tell you what I've had to learn how to do, and this is no small feat, right? Because I can be a spitfire. And I've had to learn over the years how to manage my emotions because what I've learned as an adult and in the working world and all that type of stuff, whatever, is about emotional intelligence. And I wasn't raised or taught about being emotionally intelligent about my emotions and how to manage them and how to check them and when to use them and when to how to manage myself or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I was just could be a spitfire. So I've really had to learn over time how to manage myself. And so I've learned my husband. I've learned his ways, what his triggers are, what's the best time to say things to him or to bring up a conversation. And I can't control him, but I can control me. So I
Right.
really try my hardest. If I feel like we're not seeing eye to eye, I kind of just shut it down and just, go ahead on and walk off, because what I do know is I'm not gonna win in this household. This at the end of the day, this is, it's his household and he gonna let it be known. So I do have to bow down to that sometimes. And I will say, because we're both Leos, right? And that's a hard feat within itself. He does help balance me sometimes, because I do think that he by default lets me win just out of, yeah, I'm gonna give her that one this time. And so I appreciate that, because I do need to win sometimes. It's just in my nature, right? So I think he recognizes that and does that for me, because it's just our makeup and we understand each other in that way. But I do have to, bite my tongue more often and not say everything that I feel. Like yesterday on the way home, my son's father and I have a really good relationship.
Right.
On the way home, I kept his dog for him on vacation, and so he owed me a bottle. So I called him. I'm coming to retrieve my bottle. But when I came home, I overtalked. My husband and my son's father, they are, meet each other in the middle, but they're not best friends. So I'm talking,
Right.
talking. Yeah, I got this bottle and dot 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 dot. my husband felt some type of way, and I had to recognize that I didn't need to share all of that, So knowing when to hold them and when to fold them is important. And
Because he did feel some type of way.
oh, absolutely. And
So how did he feel about you keeping the dog?
He was okay with me keeping the dog, and I think he was okay with me keeping the dog because the dog is part of our son. So he was
Right.
like, oh yeah, well this must, this my stepson dog, so whatever.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't feel any kind of way about that, but of course, he felt some type of way about, and when I thought about it, ultimately I'm like, yeah, I can see how that can be a problem. And
I would think so.
yeah.
I would think
absolutely.
so. I would just left that alone and just got a glass for him and a glass for you and say, here, baby.
Yeah, he don't drink that though. But it's and I think I might need to go ahead on and gift it out and just go ahead on and get rid of that. So
yeah.
Yeah.
Because to him it may mean something else. Like, you it don't have nothing to do with the child.
It does.
So that's the difference. So the question was Ebony, how do you handle yourself when your other half gets on your last nerve?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I did the same thing.
Well, so it's part of composure. You got to hold your composure to a certain amount, right? So it's like let them say whatever. You got to say what you got to say, because if you don't say some of the stuff, then you're going to be boiling inside, walking around mad, and like you're going to hold attitude so you get this stuff off your chest. And then when it gets off your chest, then it's going to really blow up, right? So either hold you say what you got to say, but you gotta watch, like Londa said, you gotta watch how you say it. It's how you say it that was how it's released, and that's what hurts people's feelings, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I just oh man, hold on, Ma. What's the question again?
How do you handle yourself when your other half gets on your last nerve?
Okay, yeah, I lost it for a second. Sorry, y'all. So basically, I'm just saying what I have to say in a as nicely way as I can, and then he gonna say whatever he gotta say, and then we're gonna call it a quits. Because if not, then we're gonna both be walking around mad and saying stuff that we don't really mean at that time, and then it's just going to be horrible, because then it's going to just blow up bottom line.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, basically, me, I
But then I like to keep it
I don't like to argue, but I let you keep doing what you're doing and doing until I get fed up, and then when I get fed up, then I base. Like, look, I'm tired.
You can't do it no more.
Oh, that's
I just I might mention a pattern. When I see stuff as a pattern, but I'm older, so I have an older man. So the stuff that I went through when I was in my 30s, I don't go through that now. You understand what I'm saying? It's like he's my best friend.
Yeah, he's a little more mature, but he still act like a man.
Right. He's my best friend, and sometimes I think he forget that we're a couple because we act so much like brothers and sisters. You understand what I'm saying? He's my sunshine. He's my light of the day. It's between him and my kids. You understand? Those are my 3 phone calls a day.
Yeah. That's
my kids, and from now, I don't have nobody calling me. Nobody that's calling me. Prissy said sometimes you have to let it go and agree to disagree, or else you're going to be up all night arguing. She got a point.
Yeah.
I mean, she got a point because you got to agree to disagree, but you got to be able to listen.
Oh yeah.
You got to be able to listen and to be able to receive it.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? And I think sometimes in a relationship, you hear and you don't hear. You have what you call selective hearing.
That's me.
When you want to, you have selective hearing. It goes in one ear and it comes out the other. But until you start listening, you're going to always have a problem. You know, you're not going to see eye to eye. So to avoid that, you gotta open up. You gotta open up and you gotta be able to listen. You got to be able to hear your partner.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's just my advice. Y'all, we've been on here almost an hour. So we're gonna do two more questions and then we're gonna call it night. I was gonna do this one next week, but um do you get the appreciation you deserve and do you give it?
Well, I'm gonna say this. That's a good question. I don't. No, no, and no. I don't think I get
At
the
least she's
appreciation
honest.
I deserve. And I talk to my husband about this all the time. And one thing that I've learned about him is that he is a man's man and a working man. He always has to be working. He always has to feel needed and taking care of something or somebody. And so he is just busy all the time. And I always felt like I always like holding on or waiting on the back burner to get like doing double dutch, like, Tag, when is it my turn to jump in to get you? Like, that, because he's always sharing himself with somebody else or something else. So I don't always feel that I'm getting the attention or affection or whatever that I need from him, because he's in the community, he's working on his doctorate. It's just a lot of stuff. So what I've learned to do is get in where I fit in with him and stop trying to manage it, and take what I get, but also have to remind him too, all right, it's time, I need my time, that sort of thing. And so when I really want my time from him, I try to find what I think it was Priscilla that said, it's Prissy said, that whole date night thing. I can't wait for him to schedule it. I'm scheduling it. I'm doing something for us so that I can, even though it's for us, but I'm getting fed the most out of it or whatever. But
Right.
I wish it was times where he did focus a little bit more on being spontaneous and giving me and meeting my needs more in that area.
So have you had so when you get back to that, so what is the solution for that? So do you have that conversation with him? Have you had that conversation on how you feel?
Oh yeah, I'm very upfront about how I feel. I don't. He never has to wonder about how I feel. Now I always wonder about what's on his mind because men folk don't share. But he never has to think about what I'm thinking about because I'm always pretty much straight up with him or whatever. But so I'll tell him, and he may move on it, but it's only like when I say it. It's not like a constant thing. So it's interesting though, but
Okay. So I'm gonna give you this question, Wanda. As a relationship, the empty nester.
Well, I think I've shared with y'all a couple of times now about little tit for tat foolishness. The biggest thing that I've appreciate about being an empty nester is I don't have to fuss at no kids about who gonna do the dishes or who gonna do what or whatever. it's a beautiful feeling to have transition your kids out of the household, and it's just, you know, me and my husband now. But to go back to that whole appreciation thing, I think I have a more heavy heart for it now because it's just him and I. I don't focus my energy on anything else other than him and I, or work and, you know, whatever my organizations and, you know, that sort of thing. So, but
Right.
I'm at home more thinking about the stuff that we could be doing. But I can't have you here. So, you know, but any little thing that goes on can bubble over very quickly in an empty nester situation because, again, I don't have anything else to focus on, right? So little stuff goes over the big stuff. So I think that's the biggest issue that I'm recognizing in this little time period that this transition has happened for us. And I'm glad that I'm in tune with it because I can recognize it and, you know, kind of make some adjustments so that it doesn't take us out of our comfort and put us in a place that we can't get back to. But so far so good. I'm enjoying it. I'm loving it. I'm loving this part of my life right now. It's a good feeling.
Okay. So y'all, this has been this episode of the Ladies Lounge. Y'all, what I need for y'all to do is hit that like button. I am your host, The Real Lovely C. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe to the show. Please don't forget to hit the like button. And again, please subscribe to the show. The Ladies Lounge will be every Saturday through the month of September. Next week we have a new group on, and then this group will be back on the following week, and they're going to rotate through the month of September. Wanda, I want to thank you. Ebony, of course, my right hand, I thank her because all I do, I schedule her for stuff and she don't even know it, and I just call her. Like, yeah, Ma. You know, but I love you, baby, and I appreciate you so much. And Wanda, I thank you so much. I was getting kind of worried that you wasn't going to get in, but now you know how it go. So we had some more questions, but we've been on here an hour, so I'm gonna let everybody be. I'm gonna play my outro. I'm gonna say goodbye. I want to thank y'all ladies again, and y'all please hit that like button. I want to also, I'm at 106 subscribers, and they are coming in, and I do appreciate it. I do appreciate it. So like I said, I want to thank the returning subscribers, and I really want to thank my new subscribers. Thank you so much, and it really means a lot. But that like button helps with the algorithm. It gets my video out, and it helps me to be known. Y'all, with that, I'm going to say good night, and I catch y'all on the next video. Y'all have a good night. Bye-bye.
Good night.
Bye.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. Everything I do so instinctive and so passionate. Every word I move so descriptive like an adjective. I got a vendetta against people who patented being negative when you should be getting after it. I got facts over tracks, this and that. Spitting slow, spitting fast. I could roast, I could gas. Think I'm okay at last, but I don't know if that can erase all the past. And the pettiness, a reflection of the emptiness. Hilarious, you think you're worth my time, you're delirious. Mysterious, because you hide behind a fake exterior. Inferior, you know I'll always be a bit superior. Get off of me, this ain't no humble brag. I want you to hear words, you can say them back. I want you to feel free from the chains at last, and to believe in what you got, it was built to last, yeah. Now that I've been put through, I never got anyone's help. I had to do it all myself.